Good morning. Glad to be here today. My name is Andre Dre Keys Johnson, and this is...
I'm Jamal Cobb, and I'm happy to be here.
And we're coming this morning to you with Larger Than Life Radio. And today we're going to talk about some things, and one of the things that we want to talk about is about what this show is about. And this show today is about providing platforms for independent artists and small businesses, and just getting your name and yourselves out there to be exposed and to show the world what you do. And today we're going to talk a little bit about me, and I'm gonna turn this part over to Mr. Cobb.
Yes, like we said, we're going to talk a little bit about Dre Keys and his new single, Trouble Don't Last Always.
All right.
If you haven't heard that single yet, I suggest you download it from iTunes or Google or whatever media platform that you use for your music. But the name of the song is Trouble Don't Last Always. And I want to start by asking you a couple questions, Dre. The first question I want to ask is, how long have you been singing in music?
Well, Jamal, I've been singing for about a little bit over 30 years or so, and God's been blessing me, man. I'm very glad to be used by Him in ministry, and so it's been a little bit about over 30 years.
So, who gave you your first opportunity?
Well, my first opportunity, I must say, will be my brother. You know. My brother came in, and I was just so taken by how he sings and plays, and being blind, and it just threw me, and I was just like, I want to be like him. I want to be able to sing and play like him. And he gave me my first opportunity. Our father bought an organ, and he kind of worked with me. And I just been in the church, man, 93rd Street Community Missionary Baptist Church. They gave me my first opportunity to play, and I would play during Sunday school march. You know, that little time right there, that was enough to get me started.
And you're pecking on those keys ever since then.
Ever since then.
And God has brought you to your now. And this single has dropped probably about a month ago now, and it's out there, it's hot right now. So what inspired this single, Trouble Don't Last Always? I know you've been playing for a long time, and I know there's much more in you, but this single right here, it just seems like it embodies so much passion. So what inspired this song?
Well, I've written so many songs, and I try to, most of songs are birthed from your personal experiences. And this song right here, Trouble Don't Last Always, I remember when I went through a situation where my mother and my father passed, and I had to move from Miami to South Carolina, and being the youngest child, you just go through a lot. And having to live with other family members. And I just thought about those things and the different things that I have gained and lost in life. And that's where that came from. The song came from. It was birthed out of that pain. But through it all, I just had to encourage myself to let me know that, this is just for a little time. Trouble don't last always.
Oh, wow. You said something there. You said that song was birthed out of your pain.
Yes.
And I want to take a pause right here and talk to those listeners out there who might be going through something right now. And I just want to share with you that even though you're going through pain right now, that pain has a purpose, and you can birth something great out of that pain.
That's right.
And that's just like Dre just said. He birthed that song out of his pain. It wasn't just something that he just threw together, but the pain brought about that song. So now this song, how well is it doing? Is it doing pretty good? Or better than you expected? Or
Jamal, I'm gonna tell you, the song is really doing well. I just dropped the song like the latter part of last month in March, and it's been April, and it's doing real well. And I'm continuing to push. I'm doing different things to make sure it gets out there even more. But I am, for those who have supported me, I thank you. You mean the world to me. And it's people that I'm coming in contact with that don't even know. They go into the sites and different things, and they downstreaming. You know, they downloading the music, and I'm thankful for you.
Now, I know you sung vocals on this song, but do you also play? Are you playing on the song also, or?
Now, this time with this particular song, I decided not to play. It's not that I can't, because I can, but it's that I just kind of like wanted to devote my time. And I want this time, too, I'm going to give a shout out to Blueprint Studios. They are awesome. I mean, if you come, you got a project to do, you need to see this man. Roosevelt Malcolm Moore, Blueprint Studios. But he was very awesome, very attentive to my needs and things that I wanted to come out in this song, and we did an awesome job. But he did most of the playing and other musicians in the Columbia area, and I just kind of mainly focused on vocals.
Now taking this song from cradle to grave, what type of things that you learned throughout this project that you could share with other artists that will help them in their process?
It's very important, anything that you do, you must invest time and money. And there's no cheap way, and I'm gonna repeat that again, there's no cheap way around doing things. Anything that you do, especially for the Lord, you wanna put your best in. And when you're looking to do projects, you want to be around people that's going to support you, that have your back, and ask questions, make sure you listen. There's so many different things, but when you're just starting, you want to be around good people. That's why I recommend Blueprint Studios and the guidance that they give you on a professional level, and it just takes time. But you want to put the time, you want to put the money in, you want to make sure you do everything. You want to get the best, and it may be costly, but in the end, it works out for you.
So basically, you're saying that everything comes with a sacrifice.
There you go.
You know, and that's just like the law. You know, nothing comes without a sacrifice. Even worship, you have to have a sacrifice in order to have worship. So now that this song is out, and what are some of your roots as you was coming up? Who were some of the people who have inspired you musically, spiritually, things of that nature as you were coming up, learning the music and learning how to play and things? Who inspired you?
Oh, wow. When I think of being inspired, I have a very, what's the word I'm looking for? I can go to each genre of music. Growing up, I mean, you know as well, we grew up together as far as, and if nobody didn't know, this is my cousin. And he knows I was in the band, from classical to jazz. I grew up in Miami, so I know Jamaican. I mean, I can go back, reggae, whatever. We can go back, but as far as gospel is concerned, I have certain artists that gives me inspiration, and a lot of people say I even sound like them. But I like John P. Key. You know, we grew up with John P. and Marvin Sapp. He's my boy. Fred Hammond. And of course, during that time, coming up, you had Commission and the Winans. They were coming in on the scene because, we was doing more older gospel, but then we went to contemporary. So you had your Clark sisters. So those are kind of like the people I looked up to and gained inspiration from.
That's great. That's great. So he named several gospel artists. What about secular artists? Any secular artists that inspired you?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, once again, I grew up with all sorts, and I was I'm kind of like even now, Luther. You had Luther, you had Freddie Jackson, all the crooners. I grew up with all the crooners. I enjoyed them. So many. Of course, you had Michael Jackson. You had growing up. You had those individuals. I can go on and on, man. There's so many, you know.
So you name a couple of crooners. So did you grow up singing at weddings and singing? I know like a lot of musical artists, they get started singing at weddings and stuff like that. Is that your story also?
Yes, sir. God bless me, man. I grew up in church, and that's what I did. And weddings, unfortunately, but it still was a platform. Funerals. I sung everywhere, school, wherever I could sing. The Lord bless me. I opened doors for me. I was able to do that.
So you basically walk through any open door that the Lord opened up. You walk right through it.
Yes, sir.
That's a word right there. That when God opened a door, you walk through that door, and great things will happen. So we're gonna take a short break and listen to. We're gonna pay some bills and listen to some great music, and we'll be right back in a few minutes.
All right.